It's almost week 5, guys. And I guess Bo, was there ever a time in your career that you were counting the weeks to the end of the season? And what was the earliest that you were counting the weeks?
I think you start to count the weeks like in the off season when you see the fucking bye week, and you're like, all right, we got to see when that bye week is.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about? But in 2018, we were the Bucks. I think our D coordinator is Mike Smith got fired after like week 3 or week 4. And at that point, when your D coordinator's fired about halfway through the season and you have one of the most injured defenses that you've ever seen in your whole fucking life, then you kind of start to count the weeks.
And by the way, I'm counting the fucks today. Beau Allen, this is me putting my producer hat on after a recent show. Beau always wants to know, how am I doing? I'm saying, bro, you're doing awesome. You say
I respond well to feedback.
You say
Chris.
fuck a lot. It's like a crutch for you. I have crutches. Yours just happens to be fucking. And I'm a guy who says fucking indiscriminately. I use fucking as a verb, a noun, a present participle, past participle.
Motherfucker as a compliment.
Yep. Gerund.
Yeah.
I use all that shit. And Bo, I want to challenge you not to say effing today. So we're going to have a swear counter. The goal is to get through the entire pod without saying fuck or fucking for Beau Allen. I'm going to be generous. I'm going to put it at 2. You get 1 fuck up. You get to 2.
Here's fuck up.
Yeah, here's what I'm proposing you got to do.
When does it start? When does it start?
Like
after we decide.
Right now.
Okay, hold on. Fuck, fucking fuck, cock, ball, shit, ass, bitch. Bastard,
okay.
Fuck.
It's like doing ayahuasca for your vocabulary. It's just a cleanse. All right, so starting now, and you haven't even heard the terms of the deal here, but if we get 2 of them, you got to bet against Wisconsin this weekend. You got to place a bet against Wisconsin
on the WinBet app.
A 3-figure bet, Bo. 3-figure bet.
3 figures?
Yeah. You got an interim coach this weekend. I know it's fun to root for the interim coach. Well,
Jimmy's a good coach.
Okay, we want to root for Jimmy, so let's not say
we want to root for Jimmy. Jimmy Leonard, a legend,
and y'all are playing Northwestern.
Legend.
Is Northwestern Wisconsin? Is that a big?
Rivalry?
Yeah, is that a robbery?
No, but times are tough right now in Madison, so who knows?
Yeah, well, times are freaking tough in Madison. Let's get this show on the road, man. Bo, anything good happening today?
Yeah, a lot of things are good. If my connection seems bad, Chris, it's because I'm currently downloading Overwatch 2. So it's a big day. I got my monster. I got some doozers. I'm going to be up all night. I'm a Mercy main. I know you have no idea.
No idea what you're talking about. You might as well be my teenage son that I'm not getting along with, who spends all his time in like his
He's a
his
healer.
gaming room.
He's a healer.
I'm a healer. Yeah, healer main. Mercy. It's like the exact character that you would not expect me to play.
What is so
kind of hot though.
Let me ask you a question. Everybody just heard what Bo said. There's a new video game out. Bet the Eagles this weekend. They played Kyler Murray. Somebody needs to see if Kyler is on Overwatch.
Kyler does not play Overwatch, dude. No chance.
What's he on?
He's probably on COD or like Apex or Fortnite.
Why do you say that? Why doesn't he play Overwatch?
Overwatch is the kind of game for people that like don't leave the house.
Isn't that what all these games are for?
Actually, I don't know, man.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's a little discriminatory. I think Overwatch is very broadly appealable.
Okay. What about the one the Fortnite game?
Fortnite's for like 12-year-olds.
Okay. The guy who invented Fortnite, one of the guys that invented Fortnite, lives in Charlottesville. Or at least his family does. I'm just a little nugget for you. Bo, we were just
get him on the pod.
We were just in Philly. We had a weekend together. Bo, I alluded to this on the Monday show. Like, that was one of the top 5 drunkest I've been. Not all year, but like in the last 6 months, maybe. Friday night.
That one snuck up on me, man. Because I wasn't really expecting you or Connor. I don't know if you get.
I doxed Connor Barwin. Yeah, I know it's below him as an NFL executive to hang out with us two low lives, but he took us out in Fishtown, his little hipster village. Like we rolled up to this restaurant, and I was all dressed up, thinking like it was a nice restaurant, and it was LMNO is the restaurant. It's awesome. They got this bar on the side that they spin vinyls in. It's cool. It's like smoked out.
Really cool.
Really cool place. And I'm always super nervous about hipsters because I think like they're going to be mean to me because I'm big and like they sniff jock a mile away, right? But they're all so nice. You got to give them a chance, these hipsters, man. They're super cool. Connor's one of them. He brought his bike to the bar. He had his bike helmet in the bar. We had a grand
I put his helmet on at one point.
At the bar, he put it on?
Choice for me. Yeah, it seemed necessary. I had a couple drinks. Safety is important. I'm a helmet guy.
Looked like a goober.
But Chris and I were feeling ourselves a little bit. We were, back in Philly. I hadn't been in Philly in a couple of years. I think Jake Elliott's wedding in like 2020, right before the pandemic, was the last time that I was in Philly. And so, want to go out, and everyone's always talking about, oh, Bo and Chris, you're never going to have to buy a drink in Philly again.
That's not true.
I mean, kind of found that
I buy
out.
every drink. I've never, they always say that. I don't think I've had Now, here's what's unfortunate. People buy us shots. We don't want you to buy us shots. We want like a beer or something. I'm 37. I don't need a shot. I don't need two Jack Daniels back to back and then a Fireball.
We had JMO.
Oh, somebody gave us JMO shots. This is the first drink somebody bought us.
We were wandering around after LMNO because I really didn't think Connor was going to want to go out because he's got kids and so do you. So I was a little So I was a little surprised, and then we walked into a bar called Bar, which is like the bar or something right by Center City, which coincidentally was like the first bar I ever went to in Philly. That was in OTAs, like as a rookie, just grinding. Didn't know the city at all, and we were staying at like some Marriott right by City Hall and just wandered over the bar. So it's kind of fun for that to come full circle. And that's when we had all the JMO shots. And then we were wandering over. It got pretty late.
I didn't know the name of that bar. I like that bar.
I like that one too.
The bartender had an aquarium piece on a sleeve. So we were talking about, like fish, stuff like that. I don't know if I was making any sense. When you're like, I'm trying to speak English right now, but I know the bartender sees how drunk I am. Everybody else in the bar, like they have drunk person vision, so they don't hear that you're slurring your words. But when you try to have a conversation with a bartender, that's when you look really dumb.
Yeah, I was looking stupid.
So then we went to Voyeur.
We were trying to go to Voyeur, which is like a late night spot. I don't think it's a very nice spot, and we got denied. They wouldn't let us in, and Chris and I were so butthurt about it. It was really.
Speak for yourself. I just wanted to instigate.
It was funny, but like I was like, man, I got to go back to the hotel room and get my. Oh, I almost swore there. I got to get my damn Super Bowl ring.
Good for you, bro.
Get into
this,
get into this bar at 3 a.m.
Yeah.
Way to holster.
Just wait. It'll
imagine three former Eagles, though, standing outside of a club that was really below. Nothing against the club, but it was young. I mean, like, legitimately below us to go to this club. Like, we are too old to be in this club, which is why we got turned away.
But that's Bo's MO, to take you to a younger
people bars. That was
right, in Philly.
New Year's Eve. Yeah, there was.
It was raining out too. Yeah, I mean, I guess my old tricks aren't working.
They wouldn't let us stand under the tarp. They're like, you guys can't get in, and you can't stand under this fucking tent. This is our tent.
Get out of here! Scram!
So that
you're washed. Scram!
That tells you how fucking. That tells you how recognizable and cool we are. Never have to buy a drink again in Philly. Yeah, they're not gonna let you into the bar, so nobody's.
Yeah.
You're not gonna be buying a drink. Nobody's gonna be buying you a drink.
Sheesh.
Shout out to those bouncers.
Yeah, they were employees of the month.
Oh, they were hardos.
Yeah.
Anyways, Philly was a fun weekend. It took me like 2-3 days to get back on the mend after that night, so thank you very much, Bo. We had Monday Night Football last night, our last night, your 2 nights ago. And listen, it's automatic. Bet the Niners when they play the Rams in the regular season. They own the Rams. Not in the postseason necessarily, because that's when they got them. Jimmy G's 7-1 now against the Rams. 2018, December, that was the last time the Rams beat the Niners in the regular season. I was an NFL player. My kid was crawling around. Luke was crawling around. Like the pandemic hadn't happened. All was well, right? It's been a long time. And, Jared Goff's sitting there, after they lost to Seattle and probably has the game on. And he's like, man, Ben Jones is better than Sean McVay. I don't know. They can't figure it out since I left offensively, or since not since he left, but since they traded away Robert Woods. Since they haven't had Robert Woods, they haven't looked the same. And so last night was just another example of that. And I don't think Matt Stafford's healthy, Bo.
I don't think so either.
Right?
Yeah.
I took a video during the game of him limping out of the half. I don't know, would this be a code break for me to post that video and be like, yeah, Matt Stafford's limping? I feel like as a former football player and a media guy, that's a really speculative tweet, and I didn't hit send on that tweet. Do you think that would have been a code break to point out a limp?
I mean, I never like to comment on injuries regardless, so I think that's kind of what you're saying. I don't know, maybe a little bit of a code break. I think it's more of a former player thing than anything.
Yeah, you got to wait till you do your podcast the next night. Yeah. So I don't think he's well. You look under his right sock, it looks like he's got a knee sleeve on there. A lot of guys wear knee sleeves and that sort of thing, but he looks like he's limping around. Nobody's caping for him. Like, last year, and they do this with quarterbacks, like a guy's struggling and, the former quarterback in the booth is going to point out how hurt he is 3 times in the game. Like, yes, that happens, but 2 things can be true at once. Like, people might want everybody to know the whole deal, make some excuses for Matt, but it also might be true. We haven't even talked about the shoulder. The ball placement looks off. He looks erratic. He's in the hunt for leading the league in picks. I will say this. I'm not going to count the Rams out, although I had the Niners winning the division. Now I'm like Oprah.gif with the palms out. Like, they're favored to win the division now. Sportsbooks know. We knew this. But the Rams are still possibly a playoff team because of the defense and because of some of the playmakers they have. And you don't know. Matt Stafford could feel better in a month. Yeah.
And they've been there before, Chris. You know what I mean? Like, I think that actually does mean something when you've won a Super Bowl and when you have a vet team like that. You can kind of go through shit during the season and come out of it stronger and go on a little playoff push down the stretch, maybe.
2018, Bo, great point. Like, you weren't there. You had moved on to greener pastures to get ready to play with Tom Brady.
More humid pastures, bro.
Yeah. But you were in Tampa, and we were up there trying to defend that Super Bowl that we won. And I think we started the year 4-6. And, I'm sure a lot of people counted us out when we got beat by the Saints 44-7 down there in New Orleans, and we go to play them in the playoffs, and we're a player or 2 away. So I only say that to say, when it comes to a team that's defending a Super Bowl title, that has some injuries, that Van Jefferson's down, they're replacing people up front, which is really hard, and Matt Stafford's back there getting pummeled, right? But last year, the year they won the Super Bowl, I can remember a primetime game, and I talked about this on Fridge Talk last night. By the way, code break to leave my fridge open for 12 minutes off and on.
Nah.
Yeah, that's what the fuck I said. People need Fridge Talk. So, I said this last night on Fridge Talk.
Don't tease him. Yeah. Don't say fuck, and he can't.
Oh, yeah, he can't say fuck. My bad.
We're in the same boat here.
Yeah, my fault, Reed.
That's freaking baloney.
Yeah. So I said this last night. If you'll remember last year, Matt Stafford and the Rams hosting the Titans, I think they were 7.5-point favorites. I think. I have a problem if I remember that. But I bet the Titans. And the Titans got the job done, and they just pummeled them up front. And Matt was fucking, the hits he was taking, it looked like he was falling out of a 10-story building, like onto the ground. I mean, he was like Buddy Lee, the guy in the jeans commercial.
He took 11 quarterback hits, 5 sacks, and it was Rams -7.
So there we go. Rams -7. So they were laying a touchdown. They got beat. And Tennessee that night just exposed some real weaknesses in them that you knew were there. And from that moment on, I kind of wrote them off. I was wrong about the Rams last year. Learned a lot of lessons since I joined the media. Do not count teams out that have good football players like the Rams do. A lot of my dad was talking to Sean Payton this weekend, and Sean said something interesting. It's not who you play, it's when you play them. And I think that's true for NFL teams, and I think it might be true for the Rams here. But when it comes to this matchup, fucking throw away the key. The Niners own these guys, and that defense is awesome.
DeMeco Ryans, man.
DeMeco Ryans, man. Yeah.
DeMeco Ryans. This is a fun story. I was watching the game with some buddies last night. I told them when I was in Philly, I was a rookie. When you're a rookie, like, you don't know what the hell is going on. You don't even know what you don't know about football.
Yeah.
Like, all the rookies out there think, they're hot shit and that they freaking, are these all-pro best players that know everything there is to know about football. You don't even know how much you don't know. So anyway, I'm sitting down in my stance. We're playing the Giants. And D'Amico goes, hey, Bo, lead weak. It's coming right at you. You're getting a double team. And I'm just sitting there like, oh, thank God, dude. And lead weak, and they get like a 1 yard gain. I got a double team. That whole day, he knew every single play that Eli and the Giants were running, and just was sitting there like had the wherewithal on the field to make all the calls, all the adjustments, and then realize, hey, I got this rookie nose guard down here that doesn't know what the hell's going on. Like, shout that out to me too. Like, it's a pretty cool thing, man. So D'Amico Ryans, I would literally die for him.
That's incredible.
I think
that's incredible.
He's a really good guy, really good head coach. Was a great player. Played a lot of good stuff in the NFL, and I think that he's going to have a really good head coaching job somewhere very soon.
Would you come out of retirement to play for him in Carolina?
Yeah.
The maybe Baker Mayfield.
That's how much I love. That's how much I love Meek. I'll never forget too. Like, we would go. He's a great guy. We would go to these dinners on like Thursday nights in Philly. Like, we go to like Del Frisco's or like these big defensive dinners, and we'd always shoot the shit, like talk about random stuff. And somebody posed a question like, what's the thing that you regret buying the most? With like, I think someone had signed a big contract or something like that, and everyone's going around talking about like a car or like a property they bought, and D'Amico's like, man, I got this water heater. It just didn't work. It just really didn't work. And he's like, it was like $10,000. Like, spent all this money on this dang water heater, and like, it didn't even get the water hot. It was just the funniest, most humbling. Like, he's just a great guy, man. So every time I see him, I mean, he's basically just making me root for the 49ers.
Well, Andrew Luck gets a flip phone, and D'Amico Ryans gets a water heater. I leased a Cadillac DTS. That was my first big. I was driving around like I was a fucking like I was a chauffeur, except I was in the front seat driving that motherfucker. Sorry, Bo.
Uber black SUV.
Yeah. But that thing rides.
Flaunting these swear words.
That thing's like that thing rides like a dream. Those Cadillac DTSs, man. That was my first purchase. What was your first purchase, Bo? Before we shower the Niners defense with praise.
Yeah, I was a 7th round pick, so
Pornhub
my
Premium.
signing bonus. Yeah, exactly.
Just to have a credit card that you can make that purchase on without it getting flagged.
I got that check. I got a set of golf clubs that I still use, and I am really bad at golf. And that was close.
Yeah,
for me.
Good.
Yeah.
Well done.
Yeah, that was close.
I am very bad at golf, and I still have the same clubs, and maybe that's the problem.
No, it's not a problem. It's golf. Golf is an environmental issue. We talked about it on the last pod. You know how much they're watering these golf courses? You don't feel bad about that, Reed? You got a water boys hat on. You don't feel bad about that? People are talking to me about keeping the fridge open.
I do feel bad.
When's the last time you played 9 holes?
Oh, it's been a while since I played 9 holes, but I watched the golf course get watered the other day, and it's tough. It's not easy.
Oh, they just water the fuck out of that thing.
Yeah, but you think about like maybe there's some wildlife that lives off the water on that golf course.
Oh,
maybe it pools somewhere and they know where to go.
That's good, Reed. Good on you.
Yeah.
The 49ers defense, they got a lot of great players on the team. We always talk about how dominant they are and how dominant they can be, and how many blue chip kind of guys. Like, when you look at that sheet that they have upstairs, and everybody's got a different color. Like, when did you used to look at that sheet in Philly? Sometimes I'd check it out.
Yeah, but sometimes they give it to you, and you'd be like, "What
this
the
guy's
hell?
a red
scout
player?
is
This
watching
guy's a
this?
blue
Yeah,
player?
like,
Yeah,
what?
please.
This guy's a dog," and he's like they had like the rating system. It'd be like a guy who's like 5.2, which means like they should be cut like right now.
Yes, so they basically upstairs they give you a sheet and they'd say the whole offensive formation. It's there on the paper and the depth chart. Each guy fits into a rectangle that's colored appropriately, and like blue chip players, there's a more than a few of them in San Francisco, and a lot of them play offense, but it's the defense that if this team's going to compete for a championship, that you can hang your hat on, man. Like, in the past, it's been like an incredibly dominant run game. This year, they've had injuries in the backfield. you're adjusting to a loss of Trey Lance, to a loss of Trent Williams. Last night you do see a flash of greatness with like a toss that's a trap at the same time, like this exotic shit.
I love that play.
Beautiful play.
I couldn't get enough of that. I love their run game.
Their run game's great.
Going back to, I don't want to get too.
Yeah.
But like seeing a play like that's fun to watch because it's creative. It's also really smart. It's like I think we talked about like those wham traps in the pod before, but like just splits the defense.
Everything's about
like
splitting the defense, man. You're creating extra gaps with insert blockers, and like the run game in the NFL now is so fucking exotic compared to what it used to be. And Shanahan does a lot of that stuff, and you can get enamored with the run game and the offense and Deebo Samuel and Ayuk and all those guys and George Kittle, who hasn't even been healthy. But it's the defense, man. It's 3 levels of great players. It's Hufanga. It's Ward breaking up a ball in the corner of the end zone. Hufanga, who's really come on the scene. Like last night was kind of his national coming out party. This guy's played sparingly last year. He was a 6th-round pick. Was it USC? Coincidentally, USC. Same with the soft-spoken GOAT Troy Polamalu, who people are trying to compare him to. But this guy, if you sweated the Chicago-San Francisco game, you watched him running around like Spider-Man in the rain. This guy was leaping and bounding all over the field, fearless, jumping over motherfuckers, the whole 9 yards. And you were like, man, is this guy got juice, or is this a 9-on-7 type of game where he's going to shine? He really does have juice, man. That pick 6 last night was huge. He got to 21 miles per hour on that pick 6. That had him as the 2nd fastest dude on the field as a ball carrier in week 4. He ran a 4.6 at the combine. Like, this guy's got field speed. He's got great instincts. He's going to be really good. I don't want to use the word great because you don't want to throw that word around, but this guy's going to be really good for a long time. You have Fred Warner, who's an absolute star.
The young D'Amico Ryans, man. He is so good. He's really smooth. He knows what is going on.
He knows what is going on.
He does. He knows what is going on.
And listen, he's and I don't want to take anything away from him. He's 101, man. And then Nick Bosa, who, as of last night, is your front runner for the Defensive Player of the Year. As of last night, I want to read some stats to you last night. I don't need, because these sneak up on you, right? Even me, not a ball watcher, a D lineman who appreciates disruptions. 14 pressures last night on his own. Okay?
That's insane.
It's insanity. What it means is, and I'm going to tell you.
That's like every rep.
It's damn near every.
Sorry,
no, it's ahead. No, Bo, you're right.
It's crazy.
And the thing that's amazing about it, and it makes sense, the reason he's not only a home run hitter but can hit for average is because he can beat you in multiple ways. He's got counters. Yeah. He's got a good feel with his hands. He's a power guy. And he can work the edge off the power. He's dominant. He's so strong. 6 sacks on the year. Has 30 pressures.
They run really good games, too. 30
pressures.
30 pressures in 4 games.
On pace for one with an extra one. Hold on, let me do this quick math. 127.5 pressures.
CTE check.
You're right.
Can I get a CTE check? Oh, wow.
Yeah, come on, bro. I'm good at fast math.
Hey, CTE check passed. Oh, I know. Remember when we were doing that math in the car?
You see that wish a motherfucker would diagram that went viral on the internet? That's kind of how I am with fast math. Fuck around, find out.
Yeah.
You guys want to fuck around and find out how good I am at math? Try me.
It's not hard. You don't have to fuck around very much to find out,
dude. Yeah, exactly. You get it.
Chris will show you.
But Micah Parsons, the next closest guy with pressures, he's got 22, and Micah Parsons is an absolute.
We've been talking about him all season, how good he is.
Now, the only reason he would have 50, if not for how they use him sometimes. But Nick Bosa, to me, is in the driver's seat for DPOY. And for them, Ebukam seals the game, if I'm not mistaken, Los Angeles Ram. That's got to feel good to close out your old team like that. This is a unit that's allowing 9.5 points per game this year. This is crazy. They're absolutely legit. And Jimmy G, man, he does enough. I know they're a bunch of Yak Kings, but somebody's got to get those Yak Kings the ball. By the way, Deebo Samuel was 43rd in the fucking league in yak yards, and after the game last night, he's 3rd.
You know how many yak yards he had last night? So he had 115 yards total.
78.
106.
I was going to say 70. Oh!
106 total yak yards. Every one of his yards was after the catch except 9.
Incredible. And for him, a big moment, breaking Jalen Ramsey's tackle in the open field. Like, Jalen's not afraid to tackle. So I don't know if that's a thing that people – it's just a tough tackle. It is a really tough tackle, man. Seeing Deebo Samuel coming at you in the open field.
Hey, Chris, speaking of tough tackles – Bobby Wagner. Was that a code break? What do you think about that?
Oh, Bobby Wagner? No, not a code break at all, dude. I thought it was a gender
I've thought about
reveal
that so
many
times.
And I was like, yeah, this is good. Let's deck these motherfuckers. Let's just start decking them. Let's get Bobby Wagner with a tinted visor, Terry Tating all these motherfuckers, dude. Just like that's a skit right there.
Yeah.
So, no, it turned out to be a chicken protester.
Really?
Yeah, like one of those Timberwolves people. You remember, young lady chained herself to the basket.
Yeah.
These chicken protesters are getting out of hand, dude. And a security guard pulled his hamstring. If I'm that security guard, I sue the chicken protester. If I'm Bobby Wagner, how after an accident, people are like, "Oh, my neck kind of hurts." Bobby Wagner, like that guy's got.
Chalk that one up to Big Chicken.
Yeah, Big Chicken. I got no problem with people taking their life into their hands, sprinting onto an athletic field. I love when it happens. I think they need to show it. I think Peyton Manning is right. Show the streaker, right? We're worried about a copycat league with streakers, but we're showing Jeffrey Dahmer specials on Netflix.
Yep.
Oh, I love that comparison, Chris.
You think about
it. And it used to be like the TV didn't want to give them coverage because more people would want to do it. But now, since everything goes online, what's the difference?
Bro, like they did. Kyle Rittenhouse was on TV for 3 weeks. Just put the streaker on TV. It's just a person out there trying to spice up the football game. Yeah. Maybe they're protesting chicken, but you see how it ends. It's fucking super entertaining every time. I think there should be one streaker a game. If I was president, I would bring to you the one streaker a game plan.
Then you get like different streaker, like professional. Like you get a streaker that's like Usain Bolt.
Yeah,
can become a whole thing.
Yes, dude. Yes.
And then like a huge streaker that's like a truck. Like he's like a truck driver. Is like 6'8".
Can't take him down. He's the cop. He's the cop in Boston who fought Kimbo Slice on YouTube. Remember that shit? That fight went forever, dude. You just couldn't kill that guy. Or the guy that raced the fast guy and the fast mascot in baseball. Freeze.
Oh yeah,
Freeze. Freeze had no idea what hit him, dude. That guy was like a real sprinter. So yeah, I'm pro that. I'm pro decking the guy. I'm pro the guy being on the field. Like I love it.
Here, let's talk about some guerrilla marketing. Why doesn't Greenlight Podcast? Let's hire a streaker for a
game.
Boom.
Hit my DMs.
Yeah. I'm head of marketing now too, and HR. Let's go. I'm taking this bitch over.
So yeah, Debo's a beast. We know that. They were Yak Kings last night, and Jimmy G looked better. He looked more comfortable. That's what he does, though. I'm not going to draw too many conclusions on where the Niners are, but it makes sense that they're in the driver's seat to win this division. They're just too solid, man. Anybody that can't see that, Ray Charles could see that.
Feels like they're picking up steam a little bit too.
Ask Stevie Wonder who's going to win the NFC West. He would tell you.
He knows.
Somebody told me Stevie Wonder was driving a golf cart. I'm telling you, bro. I know people in the music industry, and somebody told me a golf cart pulled up after a show at a festival, and Stevie Wonder was driving that motherfucker. Tell me.
There's that story of Shaq said he was on an elevator, and Stevie Wonder walked in, and he was facing the other way. The doors open. Stevie Wonder walked in and said, "Hey, Shaq. What's up, Shaq?"
Oh.
Telling you, bro. Okay, so that game was entertaining if you had the Niners and the under, and if you picked the Niners to go to the Super Bowl. I don't want to look like an idiot out here. My Super Bowl picks are not to have fun. Like, I'm serious about them. When I pick a division winner, like, I might be fucking around a little bit, but the Super Bowl picks, I want those to bear out.
How different do y'all think the game would have gone if Jimmy G's pass had actually gotten jumped and picked by Kendrick to Debo.
Oh.
Because it almost was. Yeah. It was the right call and right spot to put it, but Kendrick made a great break on the ball. He was just a split second too late.
Tight window.
Yep.
Tight window, dude.
That was a highly energizing play for the Niners too. So that would have been a completely different game.
Okay, let's you want to give out an asshole of the week, Bo, or should I give out Drip King first?
Let's go. What do you think?
I don't know.
Let me do the
get your, because I already gave an asshole of the week out.
All right, how many times can I say the F word again before we get into this?
Ooh, two's gonna get you betting on Wisconsin.
Here we go. We won't swear. Asshole of the week is this damn Hurricane Ian. Supposed to be on the pod last week. Had some great conversations with Cowboy Reed. We had a lot of really good content. I wake up Tuesday morning to a mandatory evacuation notice. Hurricane Ian, my asshole of the week, is coming in. Expected 15 to 20 foot storm surges in Tampa Bay, and I'm about a block off the water. I can see the bay right over there, and I thought that I was supremely effed. So I had to evacuate. We didn't get to do the pod. Unfortunately, Hurricane Ian turned south and really was devastating to Fort Myers and Naples. Tampa kind of got really lucky and, came away with one there, but big asshole of the week, Hurricane Ian.
Do you have sandbags and stuff like that? Were you doing that sort of thing at your house?
I did the sandbag thing. So there's a big construction site right next to my house, and they had a bunch of sandbags, and those guys they're very helpful. I did the sandbags. I did the board up the windows. I took all the furniture off my first floor. Unfortunately, my place did flood, but that was, could have been a lot worse. So
it looks great.
Yeah.
As it stands now.
Thanks, brother. I'm on the second floor right now. The first floor is not in great shape. So Hurricane Ian, F off.
Well, I'm glad you're okay, Bo. I'm glad you're okay, and I'm sure another one will be back soon. So it's good for you to get the reps.
Yeah, get used
it's like
to
a mock game for like an even bigger game because it's coming. You live in Florida, bro. All right, Drip King of the Week, Jalen Hurts. Great suit to the game, right? But it wasn't until the Manning cast that this award was locked up for Philadelphia's favorite QB at the moment. He gets up on the Manning cast. First off, he's got a self-portrait over his right shoulder, and then you scan to the left, and there's a self-portrait of two guys in football uniforms, different football uniforms, and one's comforting the other or encouraging the other, and it was Jalen Hurts at Oklahoma encouraging Jalen Hurts at Alabama, or was it the other way around?
No, Oklahoma encouraging Alabama.
Because the young Jalen Hurts was encouraging
the older Jalen Hurts was encouraging the younger Jalen Hurts.
I would have done it the other way around.
You would have done Alabama encouraging Oklahoma?
Yeah, I would have been like, no, you know what? It's actually perfect.
It works. Yeah, and it works. It is perfect in a couple ways because he wore jersey number 1 at Oklahoma and 2 at Alabama. So he's in Oklahoma gear, number 1, encouraging number 2 at Alabama, and both those colors, both those jerseys are nearly identical. So I mean, it really looks like it was a screen or picture off of like a spring game between two guys. Like playing a spring game because the jerseys are so similar, but they look so good.
I don't want. Okay, I got to work this out in my head. Do I want the old me, who's dealing with a bunch of bullshit? No, it's the new guy. It's the new guy. This painting is breaking my brain, dude.
Because
it's like the grandfather paradox.
Jalen Hurts-ception. It's tough. It's tough. What I want.
So the future you is encouraging the old you. The past you.
Are you telling him? Are you telling him like, hey, things are gonna work out? Or are you just like, hey, just trust me? Like that's what you're doing?
Trust yourself. Trust us.
Trust us.
Trust us.
I don't know. I don't think I don't like that
because
future Bo hates past Bo.
I hate past Bo. No, I don't hate past Bo. No offense. I hate past Chris though. I would have been like, you motherfucker. Like
this bastard didn't do the dishes. Yeah, bastard. Yeah, you see what I'm working with over here? I got nothing. Some ass commentary from you.
I wouldn't even talk to the old Chris. You know, I want to get a painting of the new Chris just walking by the old Chris. Maybe podcast Chris putting his arm around St. Louis Rams Chris. If I could petition, we were talking about this. If I could petition Mina Kimes or something, or someone, another prominent artist, to paint me, I'm going to commission a painting here from somebody, Ace, our guy Ace and Chico. I need a painting, sizable now, of podcasting me, comforting St. Louis Rams me. I'm going to put I want a microphone, and we'll be putting my arm around somebody who just looks dejected. He's wearing a 72 Reebok pants with the fucking zipper, jerseys that fit like flak jackets. Heavy mesh, fucking 4 minute.
You know what I'm gonna get commissioned?
What?
You know Trent Brown's tattoo?
Yeah, I know. Yeah, that's a good one.
It's just gonna be that, but future Beau is the standing with the helmet on, and then past Beau.
So you're Trent Brown? You're just having threesomes?
But with my past self.
Oh, so your past self is you're just worshiping the.
Yeah, I got one in a Bucks uniform. I got one in an Eagles uniform, and then like in a Patriots uniform, like back in the background.
It's basically it's Players Tribune. You know, Players Tribune. I always say Players Tribune built a fucking empire. Didn't they sell it for a bunch? Or they're rich, right? The people that started Players Tribune, they're rich. All they did was write articles where older athletes were writing letters to their younger selves, which is basically an opportunity to jack yourself off and be like, exactly. I know you don't know this, but when times get tough, you're gonna do X, Y, Z, and they plot, share, and read. They're like Michael K. in that motherfucker, just talking about your.
Chris,
I know you don't know this, but your YPA is gonna go up. You're gonna save that baby that fell in the river. You're gonna do. You know, like people are just they're their own PR agents over there at Players Tribune with those letters. That's what it works as a painting.
And now what you do, the better thing to do now, Chris, is to just, maybe like make a podcast and hire all your family and buddies so you can all jerk each other off.
Yeah, pretty much. Hey, you guys are awesome. No, you're awesome. No, this is definitely worth it.
No. Yeah, we were really good in Philly.
This is going well.
Great.
Yeah. So I love that painting, man. I honestly, he's on. You know how Russell Wilson surrounds himself with like motivational people. Like I'm pretty sure I always say this. He's friends with like Tony Robbins and Jordan Peterson, and he's very like he's out there with his mindset, right? He makes it known. I think Jalen Hurts has it figured out. He doesn't have to say anything about it. I think Jalen Hurts has what Russell Wilson wants between the ears. I think when you got a painting of your old self comforting your new self, was the other way around. The new self comforting the old self.
The most recent version of you comforting the older
That's
version
the most player shit I've ever seen in my life, bro.
Yeah.
Like Jalen Hurts went up a million notches in my book, and I didn't think I could like him much more. The Eagles are 4-0. Just give him the Lombardi right now. The guy's got fucking oil paintings of himself over both of his shoulders on the Manning cast, letting the conversation come to him. J.J. Watt had AFib this weekend, is what we found out, which is a heart condition. Scary. He played with it, but I was like, it was reminiscent of when you had the same issue for me. I don't know many people as players that went through it, like found out they have AFib and have to continue their career. Like, tell me soup to nuts, what's that about?
All right, I'll try to not be too lengthy here. This is actually something I've never talked about in the media, and I told you that, but like you said, JJ is pretty emotional, and he's an emotional guy. It's an emotional thing, especially when you're confronted with the prospect of having your career end suddenly, which as football players you deal with a lot. But basically, atrial fibrillation is AFib, and it's a irregular heartbeat. You guys didn't know I was this freaking smart, did you?
No, it's really
impressive.
Sorry to be on my phone when you talk about almost dying. I'm just...
No, it's all good, man. I don't expect anything from you. You're a piece of shit. Where was I? So it's caused by like
complaining
an
about a
rhythm.
heart condition.
Yeah, exactly. Me and JJ. So it's caused by like your electrical impulses in your heart are just kind of crossed over, and it's it's an irregular rhythm, and it can be bad because it's kind of the longer that you're in AFib, the longer you stay in it, if that makes sense. So you can go in and out of AFib, but for me, I was in AFib for months at a time. I didn't even realize it until kind of after. But I reported in 2016 for OTAs, and they do all of your stuff, where they do, like your height, your weight, and they just run you through a physical, and then they, put the electrodes on you and do the, all the rhythm stuff. And I remember like laying down and they put all the electrodes on you and you're kind of just like, oh, whatever. Like we do this shit every year. Like nothing's going to pop up. Right. And the guy was like, hey, do you know you're an AFib? And I was like, what? He's like, yeah, you're an AFib right now. Look, he like shows me my thing and my like,
I don't think they're supposed to do that. I think they're supposed to go to the back room first.
Exactly. And the guy was like kind of like excited about it. And I was like, what's going on here, man? Because it was just like it's like a break in the monotony for him,
Hey, shit, one of these guys is really fucked up.
Yeah, exactly.
Peter, come here.
Yeah, come check this out. This bastard's never gonna play again. But I can't remember what the test is where they put all the electrodes on you. It's just a
EKG.
Right now. Anyway, so EKG. Yeah, thank you, Chris. Thank you, Dr. Chris.
Yeah.
I am one dumb guy. Anyway, dude, it's so hard. So he shows me my heart rate, and it's like 115 or 120 when I'm like just resting, laying down, which is, it wasn't ridiculous, but it's not ideal. So anyway, thankfully, like when you're a football player, you have access to some of the premier, medical facilities and doctors in the world, and that's especially true in Philly, where there's, some really good, hospitals.
It's good restaurants that can fix your heart.
That's I started to say. Anyway, basically, I got a really good cardiologist from Jefferson, and they tried to cardioverse me, which is what JJ was talking about a little bit, where they put these paddles on you and kind of just like shock the shit out of you to get your heart back in rhythm. So they cardioverted me one time. I broke through it. They cardioverted me another time, and this one stuck. And in the meantime, they implanted this device. It's called a loop monitor, and it's just kind of sits like right. You guys see this here? Let me show off my shirt a little bit. But it sits right, like kind of on your heart, and it's a Bluetooth thing where it records your heart rate at all time and transfers the data to like a little unit that sits on your bed and then sends it directly to your doctor.
So I was told Bluetooth causes cancer.
Yeah, probably. But,
so you just got you got an earpiece in there, like a limo driver. You got a limo driver earpiece in your left ventricle.
Honestly, I don't know. I'm pretty sure it was Bluetooth. Actually, here, hold on a sec.
That was on a USB plug-in. Was he going to get the thing?
Beau is actually Tony Stark. He has one of those things in the middle of his chest.
Yeah, exactly.
Here you go. This is now a Medtronic ad. Loop monitor.
Wow.
Right here. See?
Yeah.
So I had that sitting like right here. So what's really interesting is like we had a big squat day, and like, I'm a huge meathead, Chris. So like huge squat day. I was in sinus rhythm. Was great. Everything was going great. This is before OTAs. Went out to practice, and I was like, man, my legs are dead. Like I got no gas. And I thought it was just because we had a big, we had a big. Get out of here. We had a big day in the weight room, and like I'm warmed up. I'm like, man, I feel horrible. Like no energy, moving so slow. And then all of a sudden, like we get done with our warm up. In those days, we do like just a little jog across the field and back, just kind of stride it out a little bit. And I was moving like peanut butter, man, stuck in the mud, going so slow, and everyone thought I was joking around. Like, what do you do? Like, I was and then we would like do the warm up thing. We'd like break it down, like bring it in before practice start, and I was like moving so slow, and I was like, oh, something's like really wrong here. Like tunnel vision, bad. My heart is pounding. I like go to jog over to the D line where we're doing Indy, and I'm like, I'm not gonna make it, man. So like about halfway there, I kind of went like crashing into everybody because they were like piled around waiting for me. Like, dude, what are you doing? And I like sat down and was like, hey, I'm like effed up right now. Like, you grab like a trainer, which is like something I would never say. So long story short, I broke out of AFib. My heart rate was like irregular. It was like 330 beats per minute, and like I had like a really bad tunnel vision. I was trying not to pass out. I thought that I was gonna like die on the football field, and it was like da-na-na, Eagles defensive tackle Beau Allen passed away tragically during OTA practice. Like, this is a voluntary practice.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Not the game.
So, yeah, we're talking about practice. So basically, the cardio version didn't work, and I had what's called an ablation, which is like pretty common. They just go into your heart through your like groin, I think your femoral artery or whatever, and they go up there and they burn the area that's causing the irregular, electrical impulse. So I had an ablation, and I haven't had any AFib since. The ablation worked when the cardio version didn't, and I like track my heart rate with different monitors and stuff now. Stopped caffeine, didn't drink for a long time after that. Actually, I stopped drinking from that point until we won the Super Bowl.
Until Friday night, because you had about 12 old fashions with me.
No, so I stopped drinking for a couple years until we won the Super Bowl, and I was like, I'm not going to not drink when we win the Super Bowl. So that was the first time I drank for 2 years or whatever it was.
Was there any you're not going to play football again?
There was a little bit of that, and the bigger problem was like after I had the ablation, you need to take a bunch of they put you on a bunch of different stuff, so like blood thinners, because you have a heightened risk of a lot of different complications with AFib, and so it's I guess the bigger issue, you don't really know what the cause of it is. Like, it could be genetic, it could be caused by a bunch of different things, but in my experience, like, the reason I couldn't, so I missed the rest of OTAs that year because I was on blood thinners, and you can't play football when you are taking blood thinners like that because you bruise easily. If you have a head injury, like, you'd be in really bad shape.
Right.
So I guess I'm curious to see with JJ what exactly they were saying to him, because obviously he was emotional after that, and it's a pretty big deal. Like, whenever you hear something about heart or heart surgery, it's scary. But yeah, AFib is not necessarily, it's not open heart surgery.
Right. So he could play. I mean, he's going to continue to play and just manage this. Hopefully, yeah.
According to Dr. Allen, yes. But I don't really know. I guess speaking, from my experience, like, it is hard because you don't really know what the hell is going on, and when the doctor tells you that you have like a heart problem, it's pretty sobering thing.
330 beats per minute. Like, I can't even.
Dude,
is it like?
Honestly, well, it's like irregular. So big. Yeah. So like I could feel it.
Oh God.
And then like I'll get.
I just lay down.
So it's not necessarily a fun thing.
Jeez.
I mean, I did, dude. I've never sat on a football field that way before. Like, I sat like on my ass with my legs out like this, which is how you knew I was in bad shape. Because I'm like a tough guy. Like, oh, don't take a knee on the field.
Yeah.
Like, and I was like, oh, I'm dying.
Yeah.
So like, might as well sit like this,
Well, I'm glad you're okay.
Yeah,
I mean, holy shit. And so, there is an outlook, where things are positive.
Yeah.
Well,
I don't think that was necessarily the most coherent story, but the bottom line is that, I've experienced AFib. It can be very scary. I'm hoping that JJ's all right. I feel for him. I can be hard on players when they do things that are, emotional or they kind of make it about themselves and stuff like that, but I think I can understand JJ being obviously frightened about something like that and emotional and concerned about the prospect of having to suddenly stop playing football. Like, it's a tough thing.
Well, if he needs any pass rush advice or AFib advice, he can call you.
You can come on the
Look
pod.
in the Wisconsin directory, the Badger directory. So
check out the alumni phone book.
Not to end it on a downer, it's more of an upper, because look at you, man. Like, Friday night as we were slugging shots of J-Mo, I never would have known you had
after
AFib.
A night like that.
Yeah. I knew that would be a bad deal. So I'm glad you're okay. Beau Allen, appreciate the time. Next week, same time, same place.
Can't wait, man.
Oh, I can't wait either.
You made it the whole show without the F-bomb, too.
No,
Congrats.
that was amazing.
Are we good?
Yeah.
Can I swear now?
Fuck
okay. Yeah! Fuck you, Chris! Fuck you! I did it!
Okay, so bet on Wisconsin this weekend. It's almost like a worse punishment. So you played yourself into a punishment.
The fuck out of here. I'm back. I'm free.
Take care. This song goes out to Howie, who up and left to the West Coast. Got a fucking cool job. Left us in the dust.
We've never forgotten.
He's the only brother not working for the family company, Green Light Podcast, but he's here.
Volunteering.
Yeah, he's volunteering tonight. I got Man, I Miss My Dogs. That's the layup line song. Wheezy.
Man,
that's the Carter, which most people like the Carter 2. I'm gonna zag. I'm gonna say I like the Carter better than the Carter 2, but it's kind of we're cutting hairs.
I'm a
here.
Carter 3 guy.
And that's all. That tells you it's all about like where you were in your life,
And it's okay.
and it's.
But
fine.
I love all Carter.
Yeah, well, all the Carter is good.
Carter.
And Howie's here with us. So Howie, aka Dirty Harry, has joined the pod. He's going to be
H-Low.
lobbing some alley-oops to Kyle and myself on the back half of this pod.
What's going on over there, Howie? How's Vegas?
Hot, cooling down. Favorite part of the year. Football season. About 85, 90 degrees. Pool
Hot
parties
but
are
cooling down. Okay.
That guy's a fucking weatherman out here.
Hot but cooling down threw me for a fucking loop, Howie. But it's prime
it's
golf
better
weather. Dry, 85, 90 degrees.
Yeah.
perfect.
Howie, do you want to lead with your questions? We have a number of mailbag questions, but Howie also comes with he's got a very particular set of skills.
So I put together a few duties for you guys. You got answer the ones you want. Don't answer the
Kyle
ones.
just told me to go first because he's chewing French fries from McDonald's.
Well, perfect.
He mouth with French fries in his mouth. Go first.
Well, we'll get this started here. So, I like kind of the question of fuck, marry, kill. So I'm gonna stick with that. It's kind of on topic. If you guys,
We like topics.
if you're avid Netflix watchers, this one's hot right now.
Oh, gosh.
I don't watch serial killer
I know where
movies.
this is going.
Jeffrey Dahmer, John Wayne Gacy, and Ted Bundy.
Okay. I don't know anything about these guys. Jeffrey Dahmer was a racist and a serial killer. We're gonna kill him.
Okay.
Isn't that accurate?
Clearly racist. Targeted black kids and
Yeah,
Right,
that guy's getting killed. He's getting killed.
John Wayne Gacy was the Chicago-based clown.
John Wayne
Okay,
Gacy.
I'm
gonna dress up as a clown.
I'm gonna marry him because he keeps
Got a great
things-
sense of
Yes,
humor.
he dressed up as a
He
clown.
keeps it light.
Okay, moving on, and then obviously Zac Efron. We talked about him on the last pod. I'm obsessed with Zac Efron.
Zac Efron killed a guy.
I'll just take him once, just me and Zach once.
Yeah, I'll marry the clown guy.
Marry the clown. We can share him.
We'll laugh a lot. He'll cut my throat in my sleep.
So you're fucking
I'll be
Ted.
complaining about all the shit I have to do tomorrow.
So he's
I won't
fucking
wake
Zac
up.
He's fucking Ted Bundy then,
Yeah, Ted
I'm
Bundy.
fucking Ted Bundy.
who was known as the handsome serial killer. So there
Handsome
you go.
guy.
You fell victim to the old handsome serial killer.
Yeah.
That's-
Yep.
The statistics say that that order is what the rest of America went with too. So the second one we got would be. So this is where we get into some murky water.
Oh, we haven't.
I can't
My
see him
death
out of my
finder
face.
says we're in the swamp. Howie.
So Jerry Jones,
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Dan Snyder, or Robert Kraft.
Okay.
Fuck, Mary.
Okay. I'm gonna marry Dan Snyder. He's going to prison. How easy is that?
That's good.
I get all his money.
That's good.
I get his yacht, the whole thing. Just write him letters, come to see him. No conjugal visits.
I think Jerry Jones would be a fun date. It would be
Yeah, you're fucking Jerry Jones, dude. You're effing Jerry Jones. Like
Take
you're
you
gonna
on a
have
tour to
the
Jerry's
most amazing night ever.
If you're a big football fan and you say you don't want to date Jerry Jones, you're lying to yourself because you get to go see Cowboy Stadium. You get to meet Dak and all these guys.
Yeah.
Get to go on the yacht. I'm assuming he's got the bus that pulls up everywhere. You go to the combine, Jerry
was
Jones
the
is there
third?
in a giant white bus with a just huge star on it. You're like, oh, Jerry's here.
Robert Kraft.
Oh, Robert Kraft? I might marry Robert Kraft, Howie. He's got good values. He's a nice man. He's kind of jacked. I saw him. He used to be in the locker room some. He's kind of jacked, Howie. I might have to marry Robert Kraft.
Wow.
No. I want Dan Snyder's money. He's going to prison. So I'm going to marry him. Damn, this is tough. I'm not killing Robert Kraft for all the reasons that I just outlined. I might have to kill Jerry.
Didn't Putin steal Robert Kraft's Super Bowl ring?
Robert Kraft could show you a good time, man.
That's a great story. Putin
surrounded.
You don't know this?
No.
Putin surrounded Robert Kraft essentially like they were mingling at some event.
Elon Musk is like, hear him out.
So you're gonna have to check me on the where they were, but Kraft and Putin were hanging out, and Putin had a couple henchmen with him, and he was like, "Let me see your Super Bowl ring." Kraft took it off. Putin
give me ring.
Kraft took it off. Putin put it on, looked at it, walked away with it on.
No,
It's true.
no,
He still has it.
no way.
And Kraft went to Roger Goodell and was like, "Hey, how can I get this back?" And Roger Goodell was like, "Let's give
My
me a new
hands
one."
are
Bro,
tied.
that reminds me so much of a time that I went to one of your games when we were kids, like in the city, and there were some kids from another school that I was playing pickup basketball with, and it was my basketball, and the kid was like, "Hey, pass me that basketball," and and he just kept dribbling and dribbled home. And, like, what was I going to do about it? You know what I mean?
Man.
That reminds me of what happened to fucking, yeah, it's all because of your game.
What did you were at my game?
Bro, I was like 12.
I feel like I had things stolen from me at your game.
Bro, I was like...
Howie and I used to... Okay,
I was
Howie,
still a punk.
Shout out to Howie,
Y'all got...
Chris.
No, maybe I was younger than 12.
We were at Greenbrier Christian watching you play in the state championship as you were a freshman. I
Yeah.
must have been a 5th grader.
Yeah.
Howie was a 4th grader. They had like a little dirt pile
Y'all got in a
behind
fight,
their... It wasn't a fight. It was King of the Hill. It was like mutually
with
agreed
fists.
upon King of the Hill with fists with Greenbrier Christian kids. And we were like, you know what? We are winning in the football game and we're winning in the kids section.
The kids section as well.
And you should see us play at the stab kids section.
And we could extend this game to
Howie, back me up.
the NFL in Landover, Maryland.
I want to hear what he said.
Let's talk about Landover, Maryland, shall we? We're in a fucking slugfest with the then Washington Redskins. It's like 11-9. You know, bodies are flying. I got to fucking really watch my ass out there. Little do I know, my brothers are fighting in the parking lot.
After the game, somebody said something to Mom. Howie,
Yeah.
Go ahead, Howie.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad you did, Ben.
So someone said something to Mom, and I just saw Kyle just sprint like 50 yards into this group of people. And then Mom rolls in there swinging her binoculars.
No shit.
And then the gentleman that we got into it with, all of a sudden, we're like, we're police officers.
Yeah, and then the 2 horses showed up.
There were horses there?
And Mom was like, fuck you. She was like going Daenerys Targaryen, like swinging shit off her dragon. There was no dragon, but felt like there should have been a dragon. I was on the ground about to get the shit kicked out of me. Of course, standard.
Somebody always saves the day when you end up on the ground like that.
But the 2 horses looked so big from the ground looking up in a fight. I'm like, those are dinosaurs.
Yeah, and you felt like a Game of Thrones character. Probably.
Yeah, and I was waiting for Howie to come and just,
So we lost the game on the field and in the parking lot.
We did. We took the L that day. But we were heavily outnumbered. Maybe in both instances.
Yeah.
So, got another one. This one I labeled Tycoons.
I love that.
Okay, yeah.
Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos, or the fictional Tony Stark.
Okay. Tony Stark, we're killing him. Too many like wise guy comments. I can't deal with those movies or him in those movies. So I'm killing him.
You don't follow Elon Musk on Twitter, obviously.
I don't. Whoa, I'm gonna kill Elon Musk. Yeah, I'm killing Elon Musk because he's gonna assault me on his space airplane. You go first, Kyle. You go first.
I'm gonna kill Jeff Bezos.
Why, dude?
Because I think he's the most powerful person on the planet.
Marry him, dude.
I want to kill him.
Marry him. He's kind of jacked.
He's been married.
Dude, he gets the packages before we get the packages. You know how quick Amazon gives me the packages?
I want less fucking packages. I'm tired of fucking unboxing, and I'm tired of breaking down cardboard boxes. I'm tired of recycling. I'm tired of doing the right thing.
Good to know you want less packages.
Okay, but you would think that if you were to try to F Elon Musk, he would try to upsell everything. He would sell everything to you, right? Like if he was trying to show out, you would see some amazing shit. If Elon Musk took you on a first date and he wanted to fuck you.
Oh yeah, he would. Yeah, he would definitely roll out the red carpet.
He'd be like, "Yo, you want to go my tunnel?
You go to
from
Mars.
Los Angeles to Hawaii? Yeah. We can get there in 30 seconds in my Model Z. Okay, I just made it.
All I know is I don't know who I'm.
South African Diamond Money.
I'm going to tell you. I'm going to marry Jeff Bezos for the reasons I mentioned. So I'll fuck Tony Stark.
Because it's fake anyway.
Because it's fake anyway. Yeah, and then I'm killing Elon
It's
Musk.
metaverse.
Yeah.
All right. We got a few questions here from the mailbag today. So the next one we've got, what photos would you use for your teenage dirtbag trend? From Steve Stroop.
What is the teenage dirtbag trend, Reed?
Just pictures that people want to see of themselves from 08.
Do they usually pick like ones that aren't embarrassing but are kind of like, do they play it safe or do they really post the most cringy shit?
Some people do it right. And that's the point of it, but most people just go with this is what I look like in 09.
Yeah.
Your MySpace photos. I know neither of you, I don't think, had MySpace. But
I did. I had a top 5 or whatever it was.
Rivals.com picture's pretty bad for me.
The song
I was thinking
came
about
that
that
one.
one.
Came to my page, you know.
Kyle, do you remember the Rivals.com picture?
Yeah, I do. Posing in front of a truck.
Yeah, we just found a truck
and
throw on an A shirt.
It doesn't get tougher than that.
Bro, you had to, because they were looking at our tape like, this kid, the school, there's just no other big kids. So you got to look tough. Like, this is part of surviving. You know, like Rivals.com, I got to look like I'm hard.
You were a 6-tool player. You had 5 playing tools and a great Rivals picture.
Yeah, had a great Rivals picture. So I went to Jeff Haas's Package Depot location because I knew he had a big-ass truck. Threw on the A shirt and just rolled over and took. Yeah, it was a survival tactic, man. You know,
it's good.
Yeah,
it's an iconic picture.
I was like Ryan O'Reilly in Oz, dude. I had to stab somebody in the fucking neck or something.
I think
or
I was
take a
walking
tough
off
Rivals
the field
picture.
for mine, and they were just like, "Hey, look at me." And I looked at them, and I was like, and they're like, "Good."
It didn't take much to impress.
I was just like probably ADD after the game, like running around. I was like, "I don't know you, man."
You were big and imposing, Kyle. You could take a picture in a bunny suit. In a bunny suit.
I had one of those default photos where it's just like an image with like the outline of a face on mine.
You were Tom from MySpace.
You were a shadow program guy.
Shadow program man. And leave my man Gabe Jackson out of this next question.
Okay.
Smelliest player you've played against or with?
Smelliest player I've played with or against.
You're an O-lineman. You've definitely played with some people who are musty.
I don't know if he was smelly, but just gross when he played. Josh Sitton had a rag he wore around his neck in the meeting room, which is air conditioned, and there's like cold water and everything, and he's just dabbing sweat off his head.
The whole year.
And doing the big huffy puffs, like if he missed a block.
Spit everywhere.
Dab his head, spit his dip, make a big deal of it.
Yeah.
Tremendous player. Funny, but always had the rag.
Good player.
What team did you both always want to play for when you got to the NFL? From Leviticus Cornbread.
God, this is so topical because the only football card that I have on my mantle still is a Brett Favre card. I was a big Packers fan.
He was a huge
My
Packers
godfather
fan.
Was Sean Jones, or is Sean Jones, and he was a D-line teammate of my dad, but he played for the Packers when they won the Super Bowl. I went to Lambeau for the NFC Championship
and you beat
when
us.
They beat the
you
Panthers.
Motherfucker.
And Brett Favre was cool to me that day. Obviously, he has been not cool to people since.
Yeah, people in general, not cool too.
But I wanted to be a Packer, and then to get to go to the Bears was awesome. And Dad explained to me how important the Chicago Bears are to the NFL, and I was like, "Fuck the Packers, man!"
It's a charter franchise, Kyle.
The crown jewel franchise are the words he uses.
George.
I was a big Panthers fan.
You were.
I was a huge Panthers fan, dude. Like, legitimately would tear up over the Panthers.
White defensive ends.
Yeah, they had some.
Tim
Biakabatuka, Fred Lane, God rest his soul, Wesley Walls. fucking
Tim
Mike Rucker.
Biakabutuka. I haven't heard you say that name in a decade at least. 2 decades.
Yeah. Chris Jenkins,
outside-
Julius Peppers, obviously Dan Morgan. There's a whole bunch of
Outside
dudes. Huh? Sam Mills?
Hall of Famer outside linebacker, played for the
Kevin Green.
Steelers.
Kevin Green.
Yeah, Kevin.
Kevin Green. He was nice to me. I'm a story akin to Kyle's Brett Favre story. I went down there for Dad did a feature down there, and he was like, "You want to go?" And I was like, "It's fucking Christmas." And I got to meet Kevin Green, and all Kevin Green did was live a life of excellence and was good to everyone. And your guy turned out to be a
Sounds a lot
real
like Brett Favre.
shitbag.
Grew up a Raiders fan and went to the Super Bowl versus the Bucks, and we got our dicks kicked in.
Yeah,
that was
and I didn't
bad.
get to go.
Yeah.
Dad got cussed out on the way out of that game. You guys remember this? We were walking out, and they were like, "We're leaving in the third quarter." Dad's got like 3 kids, trying to get him out of the Super Bowl before the Raiders riot outside the stadium. And these fans are like, "Fuck you, Howie! We're gonna tell Raider Nation about you, pussy! We're gonna fucking report you to Raider Nation, brother!" And my dad was like, "They got real passionate fans, you know, like Raiders love their team, man. You gotta just respect that and just keep your head down and move, you know."
You got to respect that.
And I was like, "Fuck those guys, dude."
So we got, this one's a little broad. Favorite off-field memory.
After playing 8 years in Chicago, you know, I retired. I came back. I joined the Chiefs. I trained all off season, and then I became buddies with Pat and Travis. I got invited to Pat's golf tournament in Hawaii for the Patrick Mahomes Foundation. The 15 and the Mahomes Foundation put on a luau out there in a golf tournament, and it was fabulous. And it was better than any Pro Bowl or playoff game or getting to hang out with those guys in a real environment. And their play on the field matches up with the way they are off the field. They're great dudes, and I can root for them. They're easy guys to root for. So the easy answer is off the field. Best thing was golf tournament, Hawaii, Patrick and Travis.
Off the field memory,
Beat that, Chris.
marrying my wife Meg.
Oh, I thought we were staying. Okay, good. Touche. Next question.
No, actually, honestly, outside of marrying my wife Meg, it was
Making my child.
it was with my children. Okay, but if we're talking about like bullshit I did with my teammates and with my friends, some of who are in this room right now, it's going to Bonnaroo, dude. When we go to Bonnaroo, like Dola, Sammy B, Lane went one year. I mean, we would get together, and it'd be like my best friends from back home. We always talk about these Bonnaroo trips. We'd stay in a bus. Meg was there. Like a couple of her friends were there. And it really started with me and Bradford going, and then Amendola, and eventually like whoever would go. So it was a blast. Like 3 days. It was like the break between like mini camp and OTAs and training camp. It was annual. That's my favorite memory. Oh, the fishing thing.
Yeah, we got a video.
Reed, do you want to explain this video?
There is a big travesty in the fishing community. There was a video the other day. 2 fishermen, they're competing as one team.
Yeah.
They're weighing their fish. The head of this fishing tournament, he was like, "Yo, those fish you guys caught and weighed in at like 35 pounds, they look like 20-pound fish." So he cuts them open. Boom. Fishing weights in these fish. Also fish fillets. These fishermen, this team had stuffed these fish full of weights and fish fillets like they bought at the store. Apparently, well, so now all their previous wins are in question. This would have been like a 30 grand prize if they had won this tournament. Their previous wins are in question now. And in the video, the second a weight is pulled out of a fish's mouth, all the other competitors erupt in F-bombs and "you're gonna die."
Oh, dude, it was like a South Park episode, dude. Those guys could do South Park voiceovers.
Worst thing possible.
You fucking cheater! Gonna kill your fucking family!
You got all that fucking money?
Yeah.
You got that new boat?
Yeah.
Fuck you, man!
This one guy was like, "You were talking shit to me, and you do this, bro."
They said,
bro,
wait a minute.
He was just standing there. This guy's name is like Jake. He's just standing there, like he's just frozen. He's like, "I have the rest of my life. I'd rather be dead, bro," because
They took her
Bro, his life is fishing.
Let these guys get out of here. Remember that guy?
What?
He was like,
yeah,
I don't want these guys to get hurt.
We're not doing anything.
He was the head of the.
Let him get out of here.
Guy was all class, man, and he was right. Take the fucking high road. But I will say this, guys. If you think this guy needs his title stripped and that sort of thing, and he needs to give his money back, then I think you need to go after Mark McGwire, and you need to go after. You need to go, because all I hear this week when people were like, Aaron Judge is the new home run king, people were like, yeah, beat it, nerd. Like fucking steroids, who cares? Fish weights, who cares?
Yeah, stuff more weights in your fish.
Yeah, I think these guys should get in the Hall of Fame. I think Jake should get in the Hall of Fame.
This makes fishing interesting.
The sport needed this. When's the last time we had to talk bass fishing or walleye?
When's the last time you got your bass tracker and did some incredible shit?
This guy's not even in Jimmy Houston's league. They're doing walleye fishing. No disrespect to Joe Thomas, but they're not even.
Is he a sport fisherman now?
Yeah, he's like fucking big time walleye
That's how he
guy.
got skinny.
So yeah, dude, I'm over
fishing.
I'm over it.
Well, I got a little story for you.
Okay.
So I maybe was 14, and Mom and I were looking for something to do in Montana. We'd been there for like a month, so
this is not how this is. Okay, continue.
Mom and I decided to enter in a fishing tournament. We had no idea what the fuck we were doing, but we were out on the boat all day, not catching anything. Over, and we boat with two guys in it, just reeling in probably like 25-pound fish all day. So we went and we paid them for two of their biggest fish.
That's amazing.
We did not turn the tournament, but we did come home and tell all of you that.
Oh yeah. Okay, so that's not a code break. That's not a code break at all. And I was like, Mom would not do some shit like this. But like, if you had turned those fish in, I don't know, man.
I think I wanted to. Mom drew the line.
Yeah.
There.
Now you bring them home to fuck with us. That's fair game.
Sweet. I've been worried about that one.
I had no idea that happened.
Listen to the full podcast on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and other podcast streaming platforms. Wherever you want to get the podcast, you can get the podcast. Pretty simple. New episodes every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more content. Podcasts get pretty wild. This is real tame.